evening. Welcome to the evening news. The Academic Staff Union of Universities also has knocked the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, over claims that the government never signed an agreements with the union. According to Dr. Alausa, the documents often cited by ASU as binding agreements were never signed, but only proposals presented during negotiations. He said the administration of President Bola Tinubu is committed to resolving lingering issues with University Lecturers Union. Earlier this year, the Tinubu administration released 50 billion naira to settle and academic allowances owed to university lecturers and staff. However, ASU has consistently demanded clear commitments on improved salaries, conditions of service, university funding, autonomy, and a review of laws governing the National Universities Commission and the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board. The National Economic Council has unveiled the framework for the Renewed Hope Agenda for the Renewed Hope Development Plan 2026 to 2030, aimed at consolidating Nigeria's reform agenda and actualizing the $1 trillion economy target of the administration of President Bola Tinubu. This is part of the resolutions reached at the 151st meeting of the Council, which commended the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning for kickstarting the process and also urged effective participation by all states and stakeholders to ensure inclusivity and accelerated growth. The National Economic Council also asked the Accountant General of the Federation to accelerate the release of funds for the next round of the National Polio Immunization Campaign to ensure a hitch-free exercise. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Office of the Vice President, Stanley Nkwocha, noted that Chairman of the Council, Vice President Kashim Shettima, said the new National Development Plan will build on existing policies, deepen continuity, and align Nigeria's growth trajectory with the long-term goals of Nigeria Agenda 2050. The Vice President Shettima described the transition as critical to sustaining the country's economic trajectory and consolidating the administration's ongoing reforms. As the crisis between states and electricity distribution companies continues to degenerate over who has the power to fix electricity tariffs, the federal government, through the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, has summoned all the stakeholders to a meeting scheduled for next week. The General Manager of Public Affairs of NERC, Dr. Usman Abba Arabi, told Newsmen that the meeting would discuss the matters and prefer solutions to them. Energy commissioners of state governments under their umbrella body known as the Forum of Commissioners for Power and Energy Nigeria have repeatedly insisted that the Electricity Act 2023 as amended has empowered state governments to regulate their respective power markets, but power distribution companies under the aegis of the Association of Nigeria Electricity Distributors insisted that although the act enabled the state to regulate their power markets, the state governments lack the power to put a price on cross-border electricity. As a result of this, neither the states nor the discos are ready to shift ground over who has the authority to regulate electricity tariffs. As state regulators make moves to design tariffs for the electricity markets in their domains, starting with Enugu State, power distribution companies declared that this cannot work. The British American Tobacco Nigerian Foundation, in collaboration with Cattle, Foods and Agro-Allied Global Concepts Limited, has distributed farm inputs to smallholder cassava farmers in Ayedire local government area of the state to boost food production at an empowerment program held at the Palace of the Olukpo of Olukmono. In their keynote remarks, the General Manager, British American Tobacco Nigerian Foundation, Dr. Ludari Odusoya, and the co-founder of Cattle Foods, Mrs. Atinuke Labile, stated that the event was the foundation's contribution to eliminating hunger in the country and tackling food security for a sustainable future. In his address, the Olupo of Olupono, Oba Abdurrafi Muso Balaji, expressed appreciation to the organizers of the event for the laudable gesture, just as it implored the farmers to make adequate use of the empowerment items. The monarch equally commended Governor Demola Adeleke for his visionary leadership and appealed to him to extend his developmental strides to his domain by opening up more rural roads to make them accessible to farmers. Earlier in her remarks, the general manager of OSBC, Mrs. Oluwakemi Fadari, who stood in for the Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Otoba Tolafa Sheru, said the state government remains committed to boosting food production and has been implementing policies to that effect. The National Congress and Fundraising Sufficient University, organized by Al-Fatih Al-Qarib Muslim Organization of Nigeria, holds between today and Sunday, are released by the president of the organization, Barrister Daudu, and the chief missionary, Dr. Fatih Rahman Tijani, says the program, which has as its theme Uniting Hearts and Minds, Al-Fatih Al-Qarib's journey to educational excellence, will take place at Ila Grammar School, Ila-Orogun. The release adds that the Osun State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, will be the special guest of honor. Dr. Ila Oba Abdulwahab Oyedotun Bibiri I is the royal father of the day, while Sheikh Salahuddin Abdul Hamid, the chief imam of Ila-Orogun, is the spiritual father of the day, and former governor of Osun State, High Chief BC Akande, is the father of the day. And out to sports. Nigeria's senior women's cricket team, the female Yellow Greens, are scheduled to arrive in Namibia today ahead of their campaign in the 2026 International Cricket Council Women's T20 World Cup Africa qualifier, which will run from the 28th of this month to the 7th of next month. The 14 players and their officials have departed Nigeria via the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. Coach Adeleke Oyede has announced his final 14-player squad with super bowler Peculiar Agboya as captain, stating that other top players in the team include Pite Lucky, Salome Sunday, wicketkeeper Sarah Etin, among others. Nigeria are in Group A of the qualifying tournament, where they will face Sierra Leone, host Namibia, and Zimbabwe. Their first game will be against Sierra Leone on Sunday, followed by date with Namibia on Monday week, and Zimbabwe 2 days later. On a foreign scene, inflation has slowed in France and Italy and held steady in Spain this month as the European Central Bank weighs its next move on interest rates next month. French annual inflation has also reached 0.9% this month, down from 1% in July this year as transport and energy prices eased. The report says in Spain, the harmonized inflation rate remained stable at 2.7% as fuel prices fell less than last year, while food and electricity costs also peaked. That ends the evening news on OSBC television. Join us at 7 for the major reports. Good evening.